This is it. The New York Knicks season. Tonight, one game. Winner take all. Knicks Heat. Da, 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 da. Give me the John Tesh music, will you, please? What's up, Evan? How are you?
Yeah, actually, Big Mac, don't give him the John Tesh music. Give him what he told us a few days ago. That's what I want to hear.
What was that? What did I say?
I'm trying to remember what you said.
Knicks in 5.
Oh, that was it? Yeah.
Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5.
Where it was spot the lie. In 5.
Well, if you want to edit the Knicks to Heat in 5, maybe we have a conversation.
Knicks in 5. Starting in game 2. Yeah, listen, that was an ugly game on Saturday.
You know what was weird about that game?
Very, very disappointing. I thought when they were 7 for 34 in game 1, they couldn't be any worse.
Oh, yeah.
They were worse.
What I could not understand, so I ended up watching the game like 7 hours late on DVR. If I imagine that it was a regular season game, like I just imagined it was a regular Saturday afternoon in the regular season, I would have come away and said, wow, they must have had a great night in Miami. There's no effort. Wow, Julius Randle's really kind of lollygagging around the court. Not even awful. Awful happens, Craig. Awful occurs. He didn't care. He played like he didn't care. And that's what I would have thought. Like, I would have thought it was a regular season game.
Yeah.
They were out partying the night before
because
there was no urgency, no defensive intensity. And I thought the poster boy for it was Julius Randle.
Randle was horrendous.
And that's tough to imagine when we're talking about a game 3 with the series tied 1-1.
Yeah.
But that's what the effort was like.
Because now we've put ourselves in a spot. Listen, it would have gone vice versa, right? Miami would have been in that spot if the Knicks were in, but I'm a Knicks fan, not a Heat fan. So we look at it from that perspective. You know, it's one thing to me when you lose a playoff game. I don't care if it's home or the road. I don't think there is much of a home court advantage the way we used to talk about it. We can argue that another day, I guess. And what you said rings true, where from the first whistle to the last whistle, and I know they care, so I'm not going to say they don't care, but they play in a manner that makes you think, do they know it's a playoff game?
That's what shocked me, Craig.
And Julius Randle was, the poster child for that more than anybody else. Not that anybody played well, but Julius Randle made no sense.
Real quick, there's a difference between not playing well and appearing to not try.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't play well.
He's a head case. He's always been a head case.
But 4 minutes into the game, either the ankle's really bothering him, which I hope is the case, because I think that's
I don't think it was, though, to be honest.
Probably not. Or he just didn't give a rat's ass. And that's so strange because it's game 3 of the postseason, but there was no effort. And that's why he kicked their ass. And let's not pretend like Miami offensively was shooting the lights out. They weren't.
No. I mean, Jimmy Butler's a different guy, obviously. He's a different dude. And when the Knicks cut it to 9 or 10, whatever it was, and they brought Butler back in 3 out of the next 4 possessions, he scored on and made the assist, and then it was a wrap. But yeah, you're right. Watching that game Saturday was just brutal. Because at no point did you feel like this is the run.
Never.
And the NBA, I don't care how much you're up by, there's always some point in a game when you feel like we're making the run now.
Yeah.
Even when they did get it, I think they had it to 9. They had 2 threes and a 2-pointer and an 8-0 run.
Even then.
And even then it was like, it's not real.
The one positive, and I mean this because I said this just from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, and I'll say it 3 to 4. What happened in game 3 means nothing going into game 4.
No, I think every game is a vacuum. I agree with you on that.
Every game is on its own. Now, they're going to have a challenge because Emmanuel quickly, and I know he wasn't great offensively so far in the postseason, but he's been a pest defensively, and he's probably not playing. He's listed as doubtful, so I assume IQ's not going to play. This idea that you're going to take Derrick Rose or Evan Fournier out of mothballs and stick them out on the court and they're going to contribute, to me is crazy. It means a bigger role for Deuce McBride. It means that Quentin Grimes should go back in the starting lineup with Josh Hart off the bench. But more than that, and this is just simple, they have to make shots. They shot 20% from 3.
Yeah.
They haven't shot 3 well at all in the postseason outside of game 2, which feels like an outlier. So they just have to play better.
No, listen, I'll tell you what. Game 1 was very similar to me. It was embarrassing. And that's all you can say about it. Now, I do believe that they come out and they play better basketball tonight. That's my expectation. I can't say that I think they're going to win with any confidence. I do think they play better. I do think there's more of a sense of urgency that we didn't see at all in Game 3. I can't explain how that possibly happens. It's funny, that first time out when they have the microphone on Tom Thibodeau, and he's basically like, and I'm paraphrasing, obviously, he wasn't setting up a play. He wasn't, doing anything like half-court set or anything like that. He basically was like, let me know when you guys want to start trying.
Right.
If you remember that timeout where they have it mic'd up. And he's like, God, it's a playoff game.
Dude, I would have thought.
I don't mind. And here's the thing. I don't mind losing when I know my team gave it their all.
Yeah.
And if I lose a tough series, I can accept that. But man, oh man, that was embarrassing.
You and I watch a lot of regular season NBA, and there's a lot of regular season games, and I hate it. But if we're being fair about it and analyzing it, where I'll walk away and say, that team didn't try. Knicks didn't try today. Nets didn't try today. They were probably partying in Miami. And over the course of 82 games, you almost get used to that you're going to have a bunch of those during the regular season.
You do.
And you accept it sucks, but it's part of the game. For that to happen, and that's the way I felt. I felt the same way I felt when I watched the Knicks or Nets play a regular season game in which they don't try. It was crazy, but I do come with good news. If Miami wins tonight, I am definitely taking my friend Tommy Lugauer to Game 5 at Madison Square Garden.
That's not good news for anybody listening other than Tommy.
Oh, we're going to get to hang out. I'll hang out with my friends who are Knicks fans. I can't wait.
Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody.
What if I say I'll buy a beer for everybody in my section that night?
Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. Yeah, Wednesday night, Madison Square Garden, Game 5.
Wait. Now, if the Knicks win tonight, different plans.
Tell you what, if the Knicks win tonight, I'm going. Wednesday night. I may take Tim Hardaway with me. Sit right there courtside.
Oh, really? Well, if you're courtside, do me a favor. Don't act like the other spoiled billionaire, that garbage we saw the other night with Ishiba.
Well, first off, if a player from the other team, by the way, where I sat, I could have gotten the ball, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm sitting next to the Knicks bench, right? And I was thinking about that this morning. And then last night, going to bed, I'm like, what would I have done in that situation?
You would have given the ball back.
I've got the ball.
Instantly.
I would have given the ball back right away.
Instantly.
No doubt about it. Here you go. I might have faked the shot like Melo did years ago, right?
Yeah.
And then I would have given him the ball, right? But would I have flopped the way that Ishkabibble flopped,
yes,
the owner of the Phoenix Suns, when he took that forearm elbow to the chest?
Yeah.
Answer, yes.
Yeah, no, the flop. Listen, man, I'm good with the flop. What I wasn't good with is this billionaire acting like he's above the world.
Yeah.
And he should be suspended, quite frankly. He shouldn't be allowed to go to another postseason game.
So there's some talk that he's got to sit up in a suite. He cannot sit courtside for the next game. If there is another game, there will be another game, the next game in Phoenix.
Yeah.
That series is tied at 2. They go
because
back to Denver
Nikola Jokic was simply trying to inbound the ball quickly. Let's go. Let's move.
Right.
And Ishiba, how do you pronounce his name? Ishiba.
Yeah, Matt Ishiba. He actually was the 12th man
for Michigan
on that Michigan State championship team.
Yeah, he played basketball.
Yeah, no, he barely played basketball.
But he was on it.
He's rich.
He definitely is. But that was a jackass-airy kind of move. I didn't like that.
No, I agree with you.
And the idea that Nikola Jokic got a T, which pissed me off because I was watching this game very closely. I have some rooting interest in it, as you may know. And the idea that, Jokic may be suspended, are you freaking kidding me?
He's not going to be suspended.
The billionaire owner should be suspended.
If you're going to suspend anybody moving forward, it's the owner. My gut is that they either walk away and it's all good, or they make the owner sit in a suite and not courtside for the next home game.
And the best part was...
But I don't think Jokic gets suspended for it.
No. And after the game, Coach Malone of Denver was asked about it, and he's like, I don't think a fan should be involved. And a reporter says, just want to correct you, it's actually the owner. Yeah. And he looks at the camera and says, I don't give a rat's ass. And I loved it.
It was awesome. No, Melissa Malone's right. If the ball comes in, listen, it's exciting for all of us. Game ball, I've never had that happen in a basketball game. Baseball, we've gotten the rare foul ball. How often you go to an NBA game and have the ball in your hands?
Right.
Doesn't happen. So I get that. Oh, look, I got the ball. Give the ball back.
Well, it's also... He's a new owner. He's off to a great start. He owns the team for 30 seconds. He trades for Kevin Durant. We'll see how it works out. But if James Dolan did that, because that's what I was thinking about.
It'd be the front page story for a month.
Oh, my God. Dolan, throw him out of the league. What of this, what of that. But instead, this guy's going through his honeymoon period, so it's let's blame Jokic.
Well, by the way, the Phoenix Suns fans are happy about it.
Of course they are.
It's just everybody else.
They got a T on Jokic.
Yes.
Of course they were happy
it's a
about
second quarter T on Jokic, meaning if anything else happens in the game, he gets teed up, he's out.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, I could imagine.
I was scared about that in the second half. I thought about it.
Yeah. Well, by the way, that's a good series. Everything's 2-2 right now. Then we'll wait for tonight. Knicks Heat, of course. Knicks trying to get 2-2. Lakers Golden State trying to get to 2-2. But it would be great if the deuces are wild and every series, for you and I who love basketball, if every series got to 2-2, that'd be pretty awesome week and a half of basketball.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What the hell's wrong?
With
what is wrong?
With me?
No, not with you, not with me. What's wrong? Huh? I need to get to the bottom of it. There's something wrong with your baseball team. There's something wrong with your baseball team.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
You want me to answer that?
I want you to answer the question. Why don't you just focus on the Mets?
I'll give
we'll
an
get
answer.
to the Yankees.
I'll give an answer.
What's wrong?
What's
going on?
The starting pitching is abysmal. It's abysmal. I mean, yesterday, Joey Lucchesi pitches on 3 days rest, and once you have to go to the bullpen
Wait, what is
with
it, mid-October, trying to win a pennant?
because of the stupid rainouts from last week, and they don't exactly have a lot of depth. So Joey Lucchesi pitches 4 innings. The Mets have a 4-3 lead, and they're forced to go to guys who are not major leaguers. Jimmy Yacobonis is not a major leaguer.
That's my guy, though.
Tommy Hunter, he's barely a major leaguer. So on a day where the Mets finally show a pulse offensively until Daniel Vogelbach has his head up his ass in the first inning and gets cut off second base, the Mets, and I was in the building.
And that run did not count because he got tagged out at second before the run scored.
Yeah, it wasn't Beatty's fault. He was running hard.
Yeah.
And that's stupid baseball, which the Mets have done a lot of, from the Nimmo caught stealing to that play with Vogelbach. But you ask me, and there's a lot of things wrong with the Mets, a lot of things.
Yeah.
But to me, the number one thing wrong with the Mets is they don't pitch. They get 4 innings out of their starters, and the problem is when you got to go to your bullpen in the 5th or 6th inning, you're going the guys who are not good. Jimmy Yacobonis and Tommy Hunter, they're not good. And there's been a cast of other guys who've been forced to get outs. Now, on Saturday, they couldn't score runs. On Friday, they were lucky that one was enough. But right now, the Mets are playing some of the worst baseball we've seen since the fall of 2021. They've lost 11 of 14, Craig, and the 3 games they won, you could argue, they're fortunate they won those games.
Yeah, it's it ain't pretty now. The good news, of course, we learned from Philadelphia last year, you ain't got to win 102 games. So that kind of tempers it a bit, I think. But, based on all the promise, and I remember when you guys did think you had Correa, and obviously it didn't work out. When, Steve Cohen came out and said, I felt like that was the last piece we needed. We need everything else in order in regards to position players, rotation, that he thought, right or wrong, that Correa was the final piece, which is why he wanted Correa. But, man, were they wrong about everybody else?
Well,
Can't just be that you didn't get Correa.
Look, right now, to me, the biggest problem is they are paying 2 aces a combined $90 million in Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer.
Right.
And there's a trickle down to that. Here's the trickle down. On a Sunday afternoon at Citi Field, when you barely get innings from your starters and you only get 4 from Joey Lucchesi, that puts you in a spot where guys are coming into games who aren't very good.
Sure.
But Max Scherzer's been bad when he's pitched. Verlander's only pitched once. They need consistency from their rotation. I know a lot of Met fans are fearful about the offense, and they've had some bad days, but I have more confidence in the offense moving forward. I can argue that I think that could turn into the strength of the team, but they need to pitch better. And what happened this weekend was disheartening because you're playing a lousy Rocky team. You win a game on Friday that you sort of feel lucky about. Good job by Kodai Senga and the Met bullpen. And then you turn around and lose Saturday and give up 1 million runs on Sunday. And it doesn't matter that Cincinnati's next and Washington's after that. They're 1-5 against the Nationals and the Tigers, and now throw in what they did to the Rockies, and look how they've played against those 3 bad teams. It's 2-7.
2-7, right. Meanwhile, the New York Mets are floundering. The New York Yankees can't even win a game that they got a 6-run lead with Garrett Cole on the mound, Big Mac. Who are you blaming over there?
Yesterday, Garrett Cole. They got to figure out a way to
And by the way,
score runs.
Yeah, let me just say this.
Yeah.
The criticism of Aaron Boone sticking with Garrett Cole, it might be the dumbest criticism I've heard this year about Aaron Boone. You want to yell and scream about other games where
definitely.
he didn't make the right decision on bullpens? I'm with you on that. What do you want the guy to do? It's the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah.
Right? You've got to stick with it.
That was the most stunning thing that's happened. When
Yeah.
you have a 6-0 lead against the Rays and you have Garrett Cole on the mound mostly pitching well, I think even the most negative Yankee fan thought,
That's a
wow,
W.
we won 2 out of 3 against the Rays. Wow.
100%.
In Tampa, it would have been a huge win.
In Tampa, no Judge, no Stanton. Oh, my God. And for Cole to sort of implode the way he did was stunning.
Yep.
It was stunning.
And you can't even be critical of Cole because he's been the best pitcher in baseball.
No, you know what you can be critical of?
I mean,
and
go
when
ahead.
you look at these 3 games and you combine it, they were pathetic with runners in scoring position. They
Right.
were 4 for 33 in the 3-game series, and they were 1 for 15 in the finale on Sunday. to the point where you have that play in the 10th inning where Aaron Hicks actually didn't do anything that wrong. It was a contact play and then got into a rundown long enough where the runner was able to replace him. But the bottom line is when you have the 10th inning with a runner on second and nobody out, here's my attitude. At minimum, that guy's got to score.
Yes.
At minimum. And so once you don't do that and you can't get the clutch hit, it's basically like, let's be honest, you're dead, especially when Albert Abreu is coming in the bottom of the 10th. But even though they had big hits in this weekend, Harrison Bader is like a godsend, and Anthony Rizzo went deep. Overall, I think their lack of clutch hitting, if you're looking for one thing, because I think sometimes when you lose 2 games, it's not always one thing necessarily, but 4 for 33 and 1 for 15 on Sunday has to jump out.
Well, we'll get all your calls on it, 877-337-6666. You got the Knicks tonight. You've got the Yankees at home tonight against the A's. No Met game. Tomorrow on the show, I can tell you now, my main man, Pete Alonso, is going to come in, stop by, do some chatting with us about the Mets and, of course, about the big comedy event coming up June 12th at the Paramount. And I'm not allowed to say it now, I don't think. Let me check my phone. But I found out who the headliner is.
Yeah.
Do you know who it is?
No.
You don't, do you?
You didn't tell me.
I didn't tell you.
You didn't share that information with me.
Well, I was sick this week.
I know. You shared that information, so I was sick. I threw up here.
Yeah.
I did that. But you don't share that information?
Hang on a sec. Oh, I got to wait till tomorrow. All right, so tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I will be able to announce the headliner. And all I'll tell you is this. Once you hear the headliner, it sells out within an hour. Okay?
I tell you right now, the way the Mets are playing, the headliner may be Frank the Tank ripping the Met team
By
to
the
their
way,
faces.
Frank the Tank has been invited to perform on stage a beatdown of the New York Mets in front of the New York Mets. That has been greenlit, by the way, by all parties.
I can't believe it's been greenlit.
I got a text about it over the weekend. That has been greenlit.
Just imagine.
With video.
If the comedy show was today, let's just imagine different universe.
Yeah, go ahead.
Could you imagine Frank on stage talking about Daniel Vogelback's base running?
I'm not sure if it. Listen, I think he's at a stage now where he's more comfortable talking in front of people.
Right.
But I'm not sure him on stage in front of 1,000 people, including the entire Met organization, if he's got the stones to do it.
Oh, you think he backs off?
Yes, I do.
That's interesting.
I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong.
He gets on stage and says, Daniel Vogelback.
Right.
Bad base running mistakes happen.
Be better.
Please be better, sir. Thanks.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting, though, but I will have to reach out to Frank, make sure he wants to do it. But it's open. It has been greenlit, Evan. You can get your tickets now, by the way, at the Paramount in Huntington. It's Monday, June 12th. Mets are off, Yanks are off. Day before the Subway Series starts. So it'll be a great Monday night, great venue, all benefiting the Alonso Foundation. And we have confirmed a headliner that we will not announce until tomorrow at 2 o'clock. All right?
Very exciting.
And if you want to take a couple guesses, feel free.
You want me to guess?
Well, if you want to take a guess or two. I know your first guess you're wrong on.
How do you know what my first guess is?
Because I know your first guess.
Oh, who is it?
You're gonna say, I just know your first
Who
guess.
do you think my first guess would be?
I'll write it down.
Go ahead.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, I'm curious who you think my first guess would be. My
Sells
favorite
out within the hour.
My favorite
once
comedian
this
of
is
all.
announced.
My favorite comedian of all time is not headlining it. Don Rickles, because unfortunately he's not with us, so it's not Don. Right? He died, Don Rickles. Yeah?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
Sorry.
I think I know who you're going to guess, too.
I know.
I'm
I
gonna
wrote
guess?
it down.
Yeah.
Good.
So do you want me to guess who I think you think I'm going to guess?
You guess who you want to guess.
I think you
But
think...
don't try to purposely get me wrong.
No,
Like, who's on your mind?
I assumed you were going to guess that I was going to guess like Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is the name I wrote down.
Yeah, but that's not what I was
Seinfeld.
going to say.
Okay.
I wasn't going to say Jerry Seinfeld.
All right, what's your guess?
Kevin James.
Well, that's another good guess.
Met fan, right?
Why not? Big Met fan, Long Island.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting guess.
And my third guess would have been Jim Brewer.
So, Seinfeld, Kevin James, Jim Brewer.
Well, all with some kind of connection. That's why
What
I
do you
guess
mean connection?
Connection to
Because
the
all
Mets.
Met
They're all
fans?
Met fans. Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
Was I
Okay.
right about one of the three?
What have I told you that 2 out of those 3
2 out of those 3.
are locked in?
Really?
What have I told you that?
Well, I would easily say Brewers won because
I'm not telling you till tomorrow.
because we've had them before. So then you're telling me either Kevin James or Jerry Seinfeld? That's pretty good.
I'm not telling you till tomorrow. But what if I told you 2 out of those 3 are confirmed?
I think
Locked in, done.
I think a lot of people are logging on right now trying to buy tickets.
All I'm saying is get your ass to the Power Mount now online and make sure you get tickets to this event. It is going to sell out within an hour tomorrow once I announce the headliner, okay? It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to it. And Petey's going to join us tomorrow as well at 2 o'clock, okay?
Beautiful.
Tommy, you prepared for that 2 o'clock? You got it?
All set.
All right, great. 877-337-6666. I apologize. I know my voice sounds iffy at best today, but you know what? I'm a trooper. I'm a fighter. All right, I fight through. I power through.
I didn't fight through it Friday when he called in sick.
I'm not feeling well. I took pictures of the phlegm. I will gladly send you pictures of the phlegm.
Listen, I had no issue with you taking a sick day, but what I announced to the audience on Friday, and I'll repeat it to your face, is it's fine you took a sick day. You deserved it. You were legitimately sick.
Yeah.
But what I don't want to hear 4 months from now is, you know, Evan, I've never taken a sick day. That's it.
I lost that right. Yeah. I lost that right. I can now say for the first time in my fan history, right. I have taken a sick day.
And that other day where I filled in for you with Boomer about 9 years ago.
And I'm thinking about taking a few more.
Well, once you broke the seal, you may as well go all the way.
Yeah, because once you lose the right to say, I've never taken a sick day.
Take it.
Then why not take 5 or 6?
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I might even take some paternity leave. Big Mac told me I get 6 weeks per kid. I got 4 kids. That's 24 weeks. That's 6 months paid.
So we'll see you on opening day for the NFL season.
Perfect for me. By the way, this Thursday, NFL schedules come out, and it should have come out earlier than that. And rumors should have been little releases coming out. But you know why it didn't come out yet? Because they're trying to figure out how to get the Jets more primetime games.
Right.
That's what they're doing right now, including a triple header on Christmas.
So you know what I'm going to do? I'm doing this tonight, all right, after the Knicks game. I'm going to make up my fake Jet and Giant schedule and see how close I am to being right. So anyone else who wants to play that game, tweet at or email the show, and we'll have our own little mini competition, if you will.
I think the biggest question for the Jets and the Giants is, when do the Jets play the Giants?
Yes, that's
There's a lot of
one.
people say 9/11 because of the anniversary, of course, which is a Monday night. I don't personally prefer that. There's some people, me included, who say the Thursday night Thanksgiving nighttime game. Mm-hmm. I would love that. But yeah, I mean, you figure it out.
I think you look at a few things. You look at Jets-Giants this year because it's once every 4 years.
Yep.
You look at week 1, and then I think if you want to go to a city, because we already know where the Giants and Jets are playing, it's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
You want to see, hey, do they go to that city where it fits my schedule and I can pull it off?
Look, you have Jets-Giants, Jets-Cowboys, Jets-Chiefs this year.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, those 3 games got to be primetime games.
Well, on the other side, you've got Giants-Patriots, Giants-Dolphins, Giants-Bills.
I think Aaron Rodgers
Jets.
is the difference maker. I think the Giants will get minimum 3, maybe 4 primetime games. I think the Jets get the max.
The Jets have the Aaron Rodgers
6.
advantage. I agree with you. The Giants have the Giants advantage.
Yes,
They are a
I agree.
name brand franchise.
But could you just on the top of your head, would you rather Jets-Giants Monday night, September 11, or would you rather Jets-Giants Thanksgiving night?
I've warmed up to week 1. I have. And it's not because of the anniversary of 9/11. I probably agree with you more that I wouldn't kind of make it about that.
Yeah.
To me, the reason I've warmed up to it is I kind of like the idea of the Jets and Giants right out the gate. Like Aaron Rodgers' debut. Are the Giants going to do what they did last year? High expectations. Yeah. I think you run the risk if you have this game in September that things go wrong for both teams. Look at the Mets and Yankees right now. Now it's early, and I still think things will turn, but we don't know what the Subway Series is going to look like in a month. It may feel very different than what it is today, but when you play right out the gate, it's the season expectation. So I've warmed up to a little Jets-Giants early.